Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest. Today, we're going to be talking about the two-headed dragon raid that's going to be releasing later on tonight after maintenance. We're going to be going over some of the primary setups you're going to be seeing, how it was kind of received in JP, and how good some of the items are that are in this raid. Now, there is a lot to talk about, and there's a lot of different ways that you are going to be able to do this raid. Now, probably the first question that everybody has is kind of, what's the raid consist of? Who's the enemy? And what's the goal? Should you be leveling your raid up to level 100? Should you just be tagging along and jumping into parties? And let's talk about that. Let's go ahead and I'll pull up here all of the information about the upcoming raid boss. I just have to find it first. You would think I would throw it on a key or something, but you know. There we go. All right, so the primary boss is going to be the two-headed dragon. He's a light element dragon enemy. Now, this is really important because this does change the weapon for spear users that we are going to be using against him. Now, at max level, he does have 130,000 HP, which is going to be about 10,000 more HP than the normal raids that we get. His weakness is going to be 15% to pierce. My cat just bit me. 15% to pierce, and then he's also going to be 15% weak to dark. I have heard on the JP side that you were able to auto this raid with 4 canes, and I have not verified that. I'm sure there's videos out there, and I imagine that's going to be one of the main strategies. I also imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of Glaciella thrown in here, and of course seeing that triple and that limit break and kind of her getting in there and kicking ass. I'm not sure how viable the Glaciella combo is going to be compared to the Cane combo though, because with two-headed dragon, he is immune to steal time. Now, he is weak to slow, and so what this might be here is you'll probably have Cane running in groups for his limit break, particularly in dark element groups, because Cane also has access to dark slash attacks in his off kit that he can also use. So you might actually have him in dark slash compositions so that he could actually use his limit break as an opener and land slow on the two-headed dragon. I think if you're going to be seeing Glaciella combinations, you're most likely actually going to see like 3 Glaciellas and a Miranda, so that Miranda can actually land slow on the two-headed dragon, so that you have more time to chain and can deal more damage. As to whether or not that's going to be necessary or not, we're just going to have to see, and we're going to have to get in and do some of the level 100 raids. I think, though, for those being the 2 primary strategies, we're probably going to see that utilized. Now, there are, of course, a variety of strategies, and I'm really excited to see what people come up with. No doubt we're going to see rooms full of, Sid. I think we might even see Lucia rooms and quadruple shot rooms. He does have missile resistance and wind resistance, but I could actually see us going that direction, particularly with just how, people are so flexible now, and with the new Lucia card coming out. It's just, I get an inkling we might see some of that. Now, going on to the Pudding Princess, who is also an enemy in the raid. The Pudding Princess is going to be weak to ice and shooting, and so of course you're going to be thinking Rosa for this. Whenever I see a pudding boss, the thing that I always worry about is charm. And that's going to be, no different here. So I really, when I look at ice weakness, when I look at missile weakness, of course, Rosa is going to be my ideal choice because Rosa has 50% resistance to charm, which is essentially a full charm immunity. However, I'm also going to see, maybe not everybody has has Rosa, but maybe they have Agrius, right? So maybe you can see compositions utilizing ice units, maybe having Vow of Love on Agrius, or using Agrius as like a frontline unit to block the charm. It'll be interesting to see. We might see Vow of Love in some of these parties that are doing this, and I'm really excited to see kind of how it goes. We'll definitely be doing another video, and I'll be showing you guys kind of what my primary strategies are. My goal right now, though, is I really wanted to prepare you guys and just kind of warn you about what's coming. Now, we had a really interesting discussion in my Discord this morning, and the discussion was about Drakeshorn Spear versus Wind Spear for this trial, right? Now, two-headed dragon being a dragon type, you are actually able to test it in the Esper battleground area. And so when you go in and you actually examine the two-headed dragon, it's actually not an Esper type in the battleground, it's actually a dragon type. So we were actually able to test this. And it turns out, if you're in a situation with maxed out VCs, or you're in a situation where the potential for damage is maximized, the Drakeshorn Spear is actually going to be a better spear for damage because it has the 30% dragon killer. Oh, but maybe it's basic attack only. No, it's not. We actually tested that. Sorry, I know there's going to be someone out there who's like, oh, it's basic attack only. It's not, guys. It's not. I tested it and other people tested it in the Discord. So let me actually pull up the numbers for you guys, just so that you're actually able to see here. So this is an example. Whoo, can't talk. This is an example of Kane maxed out using two different, weapons, basically. The top is going to be Wind Spear, the bottom is going to be Drakeshorn Spear. You can see that the Drakeshorn Spear does win out by about 200 damage here. So if you are into the business of min-maxing or really want to maximize your damage with your spear users, Drakeshorn Spear is actually probably going to be the way to go. Now, you could make an argument that Wind Spear is going to be the way to go because you do get that increased agility. Maybe you need Kane really to try and go first before your other units, but I don't think that'll be a problem. So just kind of put that in your back pocket, guys. Keep it in mind because it's kind of one of those other tools that we do have to assess. Now, one of the other things I did want to talk about was the VC card, the Perks of Having Charm. Now, this is a VC card that is quite often forgotten. However, a lot of people have it maximized for the light killer, either from the raid way back in the day, or from just the amount of light enemies that we're going to be going up against. I think this is a card that's going to be really good for this raid, and I think there's a lot of viability if people maybe don't have maxed out Spear VCs or maxed out Dark VCs. Maybe you're joining parties and you don't feel like you have the strongest VC. This would be a great VC to set. Not only does it increase your maximum damage on the individual unit by 1500, it also gives Light Killer plus 20% for all of your allies. That's really powerful. Granted, you can only take 4 VC into the battle, so you're gonna potentially, this is gonna be on the back burner. But if you're somebody who doesn't have access to a ton of VCs, this is going to be a great option for you. Quite similarly, the Ice Killer card, when you're going up against the Princess Flan, is going to be a very good approach as well when you are going up against her. Also, the New Year card, I do believe, affects the Princess Flan. I do believe she is classified as an aquatic. Let me check. Yeah, she is an aquatic, so you will be able to actually use the New Year's card against the Flan as well. And I know a lot of you guys have that leveled, at least I do, because I farm Gill Snappers a lot, and it makes it a little bit easier on my thieves. All right, let's talk about rewards, though, everyone. The Soul of Selmassa is going to be probably the most important reward from a raid that we have gotten in a while. We're also going to be getting the same materials for Purple Lightning, which I know a lot of people have been asking about Purple Lightning for Laswell, because a lot of people either didn't get the sword or weren't able to +5 it. I think now would be a great time to go for that. However, I would really like, Soul of Selmassa is such a powerful piece of equipment that depending on how many recipes there are, how many materials there are, all of that, I mean, I would just get as many as you can for a full party because it's so amazing in terms of secondary stats, right? It has, even in its magic form, it has 139 HP, 40 TP, 120 magic, 3 spirit. Or you can get it in its barrier form, 162 HP, 40 TP, 60 magic, and 12 spirit. Either way, it's going to be amazing for that secondary magic stat. And there's not a lot of pieces of gear that do add TP for your mages as well. So that's going to be really powerful along that as well. Now, just getting it to Awaken 5-star is going to give you 25% silence resistance. And then it's also going to give you, if you get the +5, increased magic resistance 8% for self, and magic resistance penetration 10 for self. It should be important to note that magic resistance penetration 10% is probably not going to be the strongest buff in the world, and it's not going to be the reason you really want this piece of gear. You have to consider that magic percent resistance penetration is always going to be a percentage total of whatever magic resistance that the enemy has. So if your enemy has 10% magic resistance, you're basically only going to do 1% more damage against them. So keep that in mind. Unless we're seeing really high magic resistance compositions, I doubt that it's going to be critical to have this +5 for that reason. I think most likely we're going to be seeing people +5 this for that increased magic resistance 8% on their individual units. And I really think you should keep that in mind. If you're someone who can't farm a +5, you shouldn't feel bad, because just having multiple versions of this for the plus magic and for the plus TP for, you know, all of your units that want to use them, if you want to throw 5 mages into your party, right? Because we quite frequently run mage parties if we're running mage parties, or calculators, right? It's going to be really good for that. So I personally am going to try and get a +5. This is going to be the first time that I am going to try really hard at Raid. So I hope you guys look forward to all of my videos on it. And I hope you guys are kind of able to recognize how important this accessory is. One other note here, just from talking with a couple people in JP about the two-headed dragon raid, and I think this is probably like a tip I probably should have put more towards the beginning of the video, is that paralysis resistance when you're going up against the dragon is going to be pretty important. Also, the dragon's counter ability has actually been reduced to single target. I don't know if that's true. This is just what I've been told. So we will have to see. We'll have to experiment. It does counter with a full break ability. I know when the Trials of Reckoning came out, we actually positioned our units so that the counter would not hit everyone. And I imagine we're going to see some pretty consistent strategies around positioning as well. And you guys will definitely have that video out by Thursday on how to optimally position for this and to kill the two-headed dragon. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to cover. I think if you haven't seen Umber Ray's two-headed dragon video, I would definitely go check it out. He actually did the clear video and posted it on YouTube, and it's a great reference video. I would also recommend you guys go check out Platia's video. She also put out a video on it. And as always, everyone, if you are planning on buying Visior, make sure you use my affiliate link, dig.gs/coins, or you can go to dig.gs/offer. Merry Christmas, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.